pre-COVID, it would have been a lot of face-to-face interaction organizations. I know some of the key strategies they were looking at was the libraries being a main hub and area to teach about the census, to help people fill out the census, inform people about the census. But being with COVID-19, that sort of squashed those ideas. So one of the key issues is the mailings. So when the U.S. Census Bureau sent a notification to all the addresses on the island, they were returned because, as you know, the U.S. Postal Service doesn't deliver to most of the street addresses, and if it doesn't have a specific name, they won't put it in the mailbox. Now we're in the middle of printing some mailing of 10,705 mailings to cover all the PO boxes on Martha's Vineyard, to let them know about the census. So hopefully that'll help notify people and get a response. Great thing is, compared to before, you can do it online now. And one of the issues, so say you did get your census notification, has what is a census ID number that you enter online. Unfortunately, some of those census ID numbers were attached to wrong towns. Meaning, for example, say I'm in West Tisbury and I get my mailing, but it says Vineyard Haven, which is very common. So you go into the census online and you're putting it in, and it's not the right address, and it tells you, call this 1-800 number, you can't use the census ID. And then when the person calls, nobody's answering the phone because of COVID-19. A lot of their offices on skeletal staff, so they're not fully staffed as before. So you're not getting people, picking up and customer service or helping you troubleshoot. But there's actually an option at the bottom to continue, so you can put in the right address. Or the other way to circumvent is just click on the link that says, I don't have a census ID, and just pretend you didn't get the billing and just enter it as if you don't have the census ID, but there's no instruction or there's no customer support to give that to you. So it's like, okay, so number one, most of the mailings were returned, and then the mailings that were received, there's a percentage of them that had the wrong town. So hopefully, we're hoping that sending out, these new mailings will sort of help with that, and get more people to respond. So some of the things the Complete Count Committee are looking at is making sure everybody's counted. Like I said, documented, undocumented, seasonal workers, renters, homeless, elderly, like everybody. The other thing is that I learned recently, the growing undercounted population is kids. Like you have children, so they need to be counted as well. And then again, it's important because that census data, whether it's Head Start, after school program, lunch programs, children's education, etc., will help determine that. So making sure everybody's counted, from babies to homeless to elderly to, like I said, undocumented or documented seasonal workers. So I've put together a frequently asked question list. Like, for example, I'm in West Tisbury, but my address says Vineyard Haven. What do I do? Or I didn't really get my census ID, or my college student is living with me because of the pandemic. Do I count him? Do I not count him, etc.? So anything that's Vineyard specific questions or issues, please send them my way so that I can troubleshoot them. And so, because there'll be another person that will ask that question and we'll need that answered. It's easier to just call me or just email me. 508-308-8177. And my email is 14citizen@gmail.com.